So, as most of you who follow my Patreon know, there's this really dumb, way super high goal that I have put on there. And it's mostly for my own amusement more than anything else, just to see if I can get to that point. But what I've put on there is that for $7,000 a month, which is really, really, really high, considering that I'm running my Patreon, I think it's running about 220. Yeah, it's 220 I didn't have before. Uh, which is kind of ridiculous just to think about in general. I'm getting paid for doing any of this stuff. But the $7,000 goal is I'll start an animation studio. And I was actually crunching the numbers on it just a little bit for my own, I guess for my own amusement, because I really am at this point in my life where I have no reason not to try something completely wild. And I know that may sound a little bit hinky, but let me break this down for you. So I am 29 years old. I'm almost at the wrong side of 30 here. I have a degree in a kind of useless major, and I have a whole lot of ideas, but nothing to put into paper with, really, if that makes sense. And because I'm a millennial, like most of you out there, I have a really crappy job that doesn't pay me very well. So, what have I got to lose? So the idea I was working with was just starting to break down costs and ideas and necessities for that. Also, I'm apparently thinking a lot about doing my Warhammer army up on the other side of my to-do list. So I've got this idea, and I don't know where I'm going with it, but it's, I've made this joke on Desi Rattles in the past, and it's about basically retelling Macbeth with mechs. So the obvious joke there is Macbeth, but it's whatever. But I have all these ideas for like, oh yeah, no, we can totally do that in like 12 episodes or so. Yeah, I could put this together. I know some people who can do some art stuff. So I was, next time you think about what it is that goes into an anime that you really like, consider this. For 19 minutes of animation, most anime episodes are about 22 minutes or so. That's not including the opening and endings, which are, say, 3 minutes total. So you're looking at 19 minutes full of animation that needs to be put out every week for a weekly series. So to get it running at 24 frames per second, which is not that high, all things considered, especially if you're big into gaming, 60 FPS is that benchmark that everybody wants to hit nowadays. Used to be 30, used to not exist. But yeah, to get an animated feature running at 24 frames a second for 19 minutes is 27,360 frames. That's 27,360 frames of animation, whether or not it's a still shot or whether or not it's something in motion. Now, most anime runs at 24 FPS, but most of the frames that you see are running at 8 to 12 for stuff in the foreground and 6 to 8 for stuff in the background, because it's not as important. But like, holy mother God, that's a lot. But I broke it down. So, assuming you have 10 animators working 160 hours a month, that's 4 weeks, 40 hours, give or take. You'd crank out 18 frames a day to hit that goal. That's just animation. That's not character design. That's not voice. That's not music. That's not backgrounds. Holy hell. It's a lot of work. But in spite of all this, I am I continue undaunted with this idea because I think that basically I have nothing better to do with my time, so I may as well just, between busting out episodes and busting out this idea, it's not undoable. It is feasible, but the problem is, where does that money come from? Because this is money. I think I did the math earlier, but I figured, so you get a 40-hour week times, my laptop's right over here, right off camera. 40-hour week, say $15 an hour, because we are not animals. That's $600 a week times 10 animators, so there's your $6,000 times, say, 10, so you're looking at, hang on, I think I did the math wrong. But anyway, point being that this is an expensive endeavor. So, you know, 160 times 15, 400, yeah, times 10. No. So yeah, just for animator's salary alone, that's $24,000 a month. No wonder that all these animation studios either run in the red, or they run, or they operate, you know, outside of, basically they send it off to Korea. But this is America, goddammit. So that's interesting numbers that I've been crunching for this idea. So yeah, that's where my brain has been when I've not been making videos. I am still working on the anime canon. I just have to. I got like 50, 60 comments to sift through at this point. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put on the list yet, but you'll be seeing it soon enough. And that is all in the wheelhouse. That's all considering that I still haven't been able to. I've had some really atrocious net issues this month, or this week, and I've been desperately trying to upload stuff, but it's not happening because my life. So, it be what it be. So, if this gets to you in a reasonable amount of time, well, you know. And if it doesn't, well, I'll see you on the flip side. Next video going up should be Tekkaman Blade, followed by top 10 robots, top 10 real robot shows. So, and then after that, aiming for Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. So that should be a lot of fun. Good old classic from Manga Studios about a bunch of gay guys. Yeah, I'll sit on that for a minute. Anyway, so the continuing cycle of me thinking seriously about starting an animation studio, because God knows I have nothing better to do, continues, and hopefully it takes off like I hope it will, but only time will tell. Peace out.